Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video here, we're going to show you how to install a fence 100 feet long. First, you need a surveyor to survey the land and mark the boundaries using a pin. So I had 4 pins, one to the right, back and left, and one to the front, right and left. So this is important. You don't want to put up the fence on the neighbor's property. Second, we looked at some fences before we decided on a vinyl fence. So we went to the fence place and measured out the size of the posts. And also, we ordered some tools. This one here is an electric concrete cutting saw, about 14 inches. And we decided to get a core boring machine to drill the holes to put in the pipe. This here is a wet angle grinder. The total price for these tools are $450. So we'll try them out and see how it works. I drilled the first hole and took out the core. It's like a concrete core, and what remains inside is water. The only thing is, when you turn on the drill at first, you gotta keep it balanced really good because it only has one speed. We're using a Schedule 40 pipe with a metal donut. The vinyl post gets installed over the metal donut. Using a wet and dry vacuum, we extract the water from the hole. Then we place the pipe inside the hole along with an anchoring cement. The cement hardens in 30 minutes. These are solid carbide drill bits. A pack of these cost $125 plus $80 for the chuck. We're going to use a 1/4-inch bit for this job, and I like to use it because it's very easy in terms of drilling with this machine. It's TE35, and the bit has to be changed because they stopped making this chuck, so I had to get another chuck that could accommodate the tip. So this is how you change it. It just plugs in and plugs out. You just take the bit and you turn it until it goes in, and then you give it a push and it's going to snap in, but it won't come back out. We measure 3 feet from the surveyor mark into the property. So what this does is the line that I'm going to be placing is going to be on my property. After installing the line, I will measure out 3 feet and then install the post. By the way, the neighbor's property behind me, he installed it 2 inches over on my side, but I'll just leave that one alone. So I use a level here and put a mark on the floor, and I'll start drilling it and installing a screw with an anchor. If you look closely, you can see there's a line that's there, a pink line. That runs from the back to the front. Now the front, I did the same thing as the back. I measured in 3 feet, and I put the same screw with the anchor. I use a garden hose with the two end, one at the faucet and one for the hose for the tools. This end piece here came broken, so I had to install a new one. And this core boring machine, you can put the handle on the right or on the left. This is the circuit breaker that trips in case the machine gets overloaded. It did trip one time. That's the on-off switch. This machine has 2500 watts, so a 15 amp breaker or 20 amp breaker is good for it. It didn't trip off or anything, so it worked pretty good. Here's a demonstration of how this tool works. So you turn on the switch. As you grab the handle, you want to lower it very slowly until it catches, otherwise the machine starts to vibrate. This Vevor tool, the coring bit, this 3-inch coring bit, does not fit on the machine itself. I had to get a 1/2 inch threaded rod to place inside the machine where the tip is. So I thought that it would have fit over the thread, but actually I had to fit it inside. So it makes it very unstable when you're coring. Now the 4-inch coring bit fits over the thread, so that one was much stable when drilling. This is the core. It's like a 1/2 a core we took out. As I drilled deeper, I noticed the machine was struggling, and it took me a while to figure out why. But it was trying to drill through an old pipe. Here is a wet and dry flush mount diamond blade, about 9 inches wide. And we'll start off using a low setting or low speed setting. So I have the hose hooked up to the water. and it has a circuit breaker there, or GFCI. So the water comes through the small hole. Yeah, this is a concrete cutting saw. It's electric. It has a cutting depth of 5 inches. The only thing is that it requires maybe a 30 amp breaker because it keeps cutting off, or it keeps tripping the breaker in the house. So I would have to repeatedly go down and turn on the breaker. So the best thing to do if you're going to use this machine, this is about 3200 watts, which is a lot. If you're going to use a 30 amp breaker, you need a 10 gauge wire or number 10 wire, because number 12 wire is going to be too thin. Another problem I had with this Vevor concrete cutting saw was that the hose was a little too short, so the tip of it broke off. So now I had to make up a hose that could fit inside the machine to keep the blades wet. This is the final result. I put the pipe in and I put the post over the metal donuts. It turned out pretty good, but for the rest of the job it was going to be too much for me, so I hired the same guys that did the other side just to break out the concrete because it will take me way too long to finish. This is the other side of the property, and it's abandoned house. I didn't do any work on this side. I hired the contractor to do the work because it was way too much for me to do. They did the paver job as well. They broke out some concrete and they put in some pavers, the front and the back. And they worked very quickly. They were only took them about 2 weeks to do the job. This is the old fence to your left on the driveway side. And this is what it looks like now. This is the new fence by the abandoned house. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. Bye bye.